we are now going to look at funding a trust.
If you select that you would like to put away 20 or 30 euro a week, that's excellent. So much better than I could do for years. This is going to build up and become a larger fund over time. We are all aware that it is important to save for your child's future, but the government have placed a few barriers in your way.
Any savings that you have in your child's name will be means tested when applying for disability allowance, medical card, free travel or other types of benefits. Any savings that are in the parents' names will be means tested when applying for entitlements such as carers allowance, medical card, especially when you reach retirement age. The other big issue in having savings in the parents' name is that if you end up needing nursing care when you're older, then this can be taken by the HSE to fund the Fair Deal scheme. The most risky thing you could do with your child's money is meet with a financial advisor and put the money into an investment. This is a tremendous gamble, and when the next market crash comes, you could potentially lose thousands. Not to mention the additional charges, fees, commission payments and exit tax these products already have. A Trust Life policy is a solution that has none of these drawbacks. A Trust Life policy is specifically designed to fund a special needs trust. When you, the parent, passes away, it pays out a lump sum of money into your child's trust. The premiums are fixed and will not change as you get older. And as a parent, you decide how much a week you want to pay and over how many years. The key reason why the Trust Life policy works so well for families of children who have special needs is because parents know that no matter what happens in the future, that their child will always receive the money for their trust. This is a great way for your child to start putting away some of their entitlements without affecting their current or future access to entitlements. Remember, this is not like a pension or savings or investment product that has risk. It is a specific life policy, and when you pass away, it deposits money into your child's trust. It is a very straightforward way for your own child to fund their future quality of life. The first person I helped put in place was my brother Pierce, and I have helped over 2,000 families put the Trust Life policy in place, and I'm now seeing it from a different perspective, as I've helped a number of parents to claim on the Trust Life policy. Very recently, I helped a dad claim for his 100,000 for his son with autism, as his mum passed away with breast cancer and they had only taken out the policy 4 years earlier. Helping parents in this situation has really shown me the true value of having a Trust Life policy in place.
We would all like to have €1,000,000 in a trust for our child. Obviously, this is unrealistic. However, what is very realistic for most of the parents we meet is a trust fund with a minimum of 100,000 for your child. I am going to give you the following example. Dad age 44 and mum age 44, both non-smokers and in general good health, would pay as a couple €24 a week for a term of 40 years. In total, this would add up to 49,920 being paid into the policy. What does the child get in your trust? If you look at the table in your workbook, there are 3 scenarios that can happen. Scenario 1. If both parents pass away after the term, meaning if they both live to be over the age of 84, then the child will receive the first 50,000 when the first parent passes away, and the second 50,000 when the second parent passes away, even though they have stopped paying into the policy because they only need to pay for the 40-year term. This ensures the child will always get at least 100,000. There is a second scenario, and that is one parent passes away before the 40 years. Then the child gets 100,000 at this point, and when the second parent passes away after the 40 years, then another 50,000 is paid out in the trust, and the child receives a total of 150,000. The third and final scenario for the child is that both parents pass away before the 40 years are up, And because of this, the child receives 100,000 from each parent, and this is a total of 200,000.
As Dolores mentioned in the example, the total cost added up to 49,920, and the minimum that child would get back from the trust fund is 100,000. A payout of 150 or 200,000 may be paid out depending on when one or both parents passes away early. If this happens, then there is more pressure on the surviving parent, so more money is needed for the trust. Most parents, when I meet them for a private consultation, always think it is best to take the policy out for the shortest period of time, while they are still working. But I always encourage my parents to take it over the longest period of time, such as 40 years if available. The reason for this is that you are more likely to pass away in 30 to 40 years time than in the next 10 to 20. So scenario 2 and 3 are more likely to occur, and more money is paid out for your child because more money is needed for the trust. Also remember, the weekly payment is actually coming from your child's entitlement and not coming from your pensions when you get older, so it is more financially beneficial for your child if they insure you for the longer time frame. Now it is your turn. Look at the table in your workbook. You will see the example highlighted and how we calculated the weekly cost for that couple who were both 44. If you go down the column closest to you and your spouse's age, now you will see the weekly costs that are closer to you. You will see in the table we have started at age 30, going to 44 on the top line. The table gives you the option to pay for the trust life policy over 20, 30 or 40 years. If you are older like me, then you will have to go down to the second table, which is for parents aged 45 to 59. The reason we stopped the table at 59 is because it's incredibly expensive to start to pay into the trust life policy when you're over the age of 60. A few things to note when you are estimating your weekly costs. All the figures showed are based on 2 parents. For single parents, then you'll need to divide everything by 2 to get a more accurate quote for a 1-parent family. If you smoke, then expect to pay a little bit more. If you have health issues, then you may have to pay a higher premium, or at times, some parents may not get approved for the trust life policy. When helping parents, I often run into these issues. As an alternative, I often recommend that only one parent takes out the policy for the child. It does decrease the money paid in, but it makes it a more affordable option when one of the parents has a lot of health issues. As you can see by the box, the younger you take out the trust life policy, the less you pay per week. From age 45 onwards, then the trust life policy can only be taken out over 20 or 30 years.